Welcome to this week's episode of Jacket Pride TV. We're joined each week by head coach Mark Mitchell. Coach, good to see you. And we're going to recap last week's game against Sulligent and preview this week's game against Cold Springs. Talk a little bit about Sulligent. Tough game last week, close at the half. Boys did some good things, especially in the first half. Talk a little bit about the recap of the game.
I think Sulligent's got a very good football team. Coach Merchant does a good job of that.
Yeah.
All our games the 3 years before would come down close at one score here or there. And the other night, we were down 7 at the half, and we'd done some good things and some things not so good. And the second half just didn't go our way. And we got a lot of things to improve on that we've been trying to improve on this week to make us a better football team.
Yep.
And our kids have bounced back and had a good week of practice so far this week. So you got to give Sulligent some credit now. They made a lot of that stuff happen because they got a really good football team.
So a lot of speed.
Yes, sir.
They had a lot of speed, especially on the
speed
outside.
and size, and that's some of the things that we lack. So
Talk a little bit about some of the injuries. Follow up on some of the young men. How's Declan this week?
Declan broke a bone in his foot, and he'll be out the rest of the year here.
Yeah.
And we just had some other guys banged up here or there, but here with us, Justin, if we lose somebody like Declan, it starts both ways. That's really losing. That's killing for us, and we don't have the depth that a lot of other teams have. But that's something that we trying to get better at practice, and we got some younger guys that we get in reps and trying to get where we have depth, and that we got 2 to 3 people that can play, and we don't use that as an excuse. It's just a motivation to try to get us better. And this time of the year right now, you're trying to get younger guys in there and some reps and stuff too, because older guys been going the whole time, try to give them a little bit of breaks. We be fresh on Friday, so we're going to continue to do that.
Healthy from COVID, everybody okay as far as that goes?
As far as I know, we checked temps this morning. We didn't have any this morning, so we good with that.
That's good. I know some of the middle
we
school.
Done with that.
Yeah, middle school got a little bit of that right now. I just want to check with the players. Well, let's talk a little bit about this week's matchup, continuing in region play against the Cold Springs Eagles. What do you see against the Eagles on film this week?
Cold Springs plays very hard. Coach Cornelius does a good job of that. They got a bunch of good kids out there. They're trying to win their first game. We'll get their best shot this week. They'll play us as hard as they played anybody all year long. We got to go there, a little bit of a bus ride. I think our kids have bounced back and respond well. They've been. Our kids know we've got to play a whole lot better standard than what we did last week, and we've got good kids.
Yep.
And we just gonna keep getting at it one day at a time, trying to get better at blocking and tackling the fundamentals of football, and make our program into a successful one.
Yeah. So we look forward to seeing this Friday night at Cold Springs. That's a little different.
Yeah.
We've been fortunate this year.
We've been at home a lot. Yeah.
It's take a total of 7 home games, counting the Jamboree game. That's unusual.
Yeah.
And I'll say something about our crowd. Our crowd has been with us every week.
It has.
And the crowd's been into the football game. And we appreciate the support for the young men and you and the coaches from our community. It's second to none.
Well, I mean, if you come and watch our game, you see our kids getting after it, and they're doing the things that we need to do to get better. Just sometimes we just out-athleted or we get some guys that's a little bit better than us right now, and we kind of young in some areas, and it's shown in some different places, but that doesn't take anything away from their effort and the team our got. And I don't dread coming to practice. I don't dislike any of our guys. We got a bunch of good kids that do everything you ask them to do. We just hadn't been on the right side of some of these games here lately, but I don't think that has any indication of what type of kids these are. These are great kids that do really good stuff, that are trying their best, and sometimes in life you don't come out on top, and we're just at a point right now where we just got to buckle your chin strap up and go back to work, go back to practice, and make some luck and our own luck, and just change some things, and it's just part of life, and we're going to keep right on going.
Well, I tell you, I appreciate you choosing my wife as an honorary captain. I'm lucky to be sitting here today. I did embarrass her in front of all of Winston County. I called her the prettiest teacher, prettiest captain we've had yet, which is true in my book, and I'm going to embarrass her.
Well, you should. Well, you should do that. But on that note, I think you ought to have a little bit of fun in life. We shouldn't sit here and just and be dull and boring and everybody have a chip on their shoulder. You should be able to laugh and have fun, because life ain't guaranteed from one day to the next, and you're not guaranteed another second. When the good Lord says it's time. You need to live that life to the fullest and have as much fun and do as many good things in your life as possible.
Well, I told somebody, if you didn't see me at church on Sunday, look for me elsewhere. So, in all seriousness, Coach, so we appreciate your support. You're providing that for the teachers. I haven't brought that up in an episode yet, but each week, home game, you've been providing teachers, or at least our staff from the elementary school, middle school, and high school as honorary captains, and that shows involvement with our teachers, and we appreciate all that they do each week, and in a way to recognize them and yourself as well, and working with the kids.
They spend a lot of time with our kids.
They do.
And I just think that, you know, our teachers do as much with our kids as anybody else does, and it takes all of us to try to get them to make their grades to be eligible and come to a game on Friday. And I'm sure those teachers appreciate somebody telling them thank you, because I tell them all thank you every week. And it's a very difficult job to be a teacher nowadays without COVID, and then you're going and risking exposure to COVID every day, and it's according if you got health risk or not. And it was just a way that I thought we should be able to show our unity between all three of our schools and our support for our teachers. And there's other things that, you know, we try to do to support and get everybody else involved, because I think it takes everybody to change a community and make it the best you can be, not just a football team. We just part of it, just trying to make our community better.
Well, it's like the hashtag at the elementary school started one town, one school, one family. And, and that's the way that the Devil Springs community is, and then Winston County High School. So, well, Coach, we appreciate you sitting down with us. We've got some highlights from last week's game. We appreciate Bradley Cummins making those available to us. And we've got a player interview this week we'll get to in just a moment. But enjoy these highlights from last week. Coach, good luck this week against Cold Springs.
Thank you.
Our player interview this week is with senior defensive back and wide receiver Billy Watts. Billy, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
So how's your senior year going so far? Not only just football, school, and everything. Everything going well for you?
Yes, sir. We could be doing better in football, but I mean, it's last year. Got to make the most of it.
You're having a solid year, doing well. Had a really good catch the other night against Aliceville. That was really good catch. Matter of fact, it was one of our highlights last week. And so you like playing wide receiver or defensive back better?
Probably defensive back.
What's the difference?
More action.
More action, I hear you. Well, the defensive back, Coach Saban says you got to have a short memory, right? So is that true?
For the most part, yeah.
So why do you got to have a short memory? So what would you explain? If somebody asked that, what does that mean as a defensive back? What does that mean?
Well, when I think of it, short memory, you have the run and you have the pass. You can't really be hooked up on one or the other.
Yeah.
You got to expect both, but you can't really put all your marbles in one bag.
And you guys have played a lot of both really this year. Power teams and also some teams that could throw it like midfield.
Yeah.
And Sulligent seemed like they were more of a power running team. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the Cold Springs Eagles this week. It's a region game. You guys will be going there. We've been at Malcolm Blake Stadium here, quite a bit. But tell us a little bit about the Eagles, what you've seen on film, and what coaches have been preparing you for.
Well, they like to run the ball a lot. They throw every now and then, but we're expecting to run a lot this.
A lot of power team. Another power team, a lot of runs, that kind of thing. Well, that's good. And you got to have some good tackling then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's good. So let me ask you one non-football question. So what do you like to do when you're not at school, not dealing with football stuff? What's the thing you like to do? Just kind of hang out and chill out. Sleep. That seems to be the common answer. Nothing beats a good nap, right?
Nothing.
Nothing. That's right. And it'll be even rare when you get older. Trust me. Okay. But Billy, well, thank you for coming on today. Appreciate you taking some time with us. You're having a good season. We've enjoyed watching you. And so come support Winston County. They'll be at Cold Springs this week. Kick off at 7 p.m.